Do you have something that you secretly love? You know what? Introverts have a bunch of things that they secretly adore too, but they might not always talk about them. According to psychologist Dr. Mark Johnson, the reason why introverts tend to keep their hobbies and passions to themselves is that they might not feel at ease talking about them in big crowds or with people they're not too familiar with. It can be a vulnerable experience to share something that's really close to their heart, or they may just prefer to keep these activities as their own personal sanctuary. With that said, here are some things that introverts secretly love. Number 1, observation. Did you know that introverts have a special way of experiencing the world? While actively engaging with the surroundings is an extrovert favorite, introverts find delight in just taking in their surroundings. Susan Cain, a renowned psychology expert and author of Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, says that introverts are often more aware of subtle details in their environment than extroverts, which means they tend to take in more information about their surroundings and notice small details that others may miss. An introvert might easily observe a slight change in the lighting in a room or the way someone's body language shifts during a conversation. These observations can give introverts a deeper understanding of their environment and bring them a sense of happiness and wonder. But it's important to remember that not all introverts enjoy observing their surroundings in the same way. Each introvert has their unique interests and preferences. Some might prefer observing nature, while others may find joy in people watching in a bustling city. But what's crucial is respecting their need for quiet observation and giving them the space and freedom to do so. Number 2, one-on-one interactions. Have you ever noticed how introverts often seem more comfortable having one-on-one conversations than being in large groups? It's because they can feel drained or overwhelmed by too much stimulation, and one-on-one interactions provide a more peaceful and connected experience for them. In fact, Sophia Demling, a well-known psychology expert and author of The Introvert's Way, Living a Quiet Life in a Noisy World, explains that introverts value these intimate conversations because they can have deeper and more meaningful discussions without the distractions of a group setting. So if you want to connect with an introvert in a more personal way, consider having a one-on-one conversation and see how it can bring a sense of ease and comfort to you both. Number 3, intellectual stimulation. Have you ever found yourself engrossed in a challenging activity that stimulated your mind and allowed you to think more critically? This is what we call intellectual stimulation. For many introverts, this type of mental activity is even more fulfilling than social stimulation because they tend to be curious and love exploring complex ideas through deep thinking and philosophical discussions. It's a way for them to expand their cognitive abilities and broaden their perspective of the world. They often prefer activities that allow them to explore their own thoughts and ideas rather than seeking out external stimulation. This is why they often enjoy spending time alone with activities like reading and meditating. Because of their introspective nature, introverts are known to excel in activities that require deep thinking and analysis, such as research and writing. Interestingly, research has also shown that engaging in activities that challenge and stimulate the mind can have positive effects on mental health, such as reducing stress and anxiety. All in all, intellectual stimulation is a crucial part of an introvert's life that can lead to improved mental health and overall well-being. And number 4, planning and organizing. Did you know that introverts tend to have a strong preference for planning and organizing? Psychologist Laurie Helgo suggests that this may be because they enjoy reflecting on their thoughts and goals before taking action. For introverts, planning and organizing can offer a sense of structure and control, which can be very reassuring and satisfying. Clinical psychologist Dr. Marty Olson-Laney, in his book called The Introvert Advantage, How to Thrive in an Extrovert World, stated that introverts prefer to work alone when planning and organizing tasks so that they can focus on their ideas without distractions from social interaction. This allows them to carefully consider each step towards their goal. Additionally, planning and organizing can showcase their creativity and problem-solving abilities by approaching tasks in an organized and structured way. Overall, introverts find planning and organizing enjoyable and rewarding, as it allows them to work independently and methodically towards their goal. Here's the deal. Introverts are no different than anyone else when it comes to having their own secret favorites. It's crucial that you acknowledge their boundaries and give them the room they need to recharge and enjoy their hobbies. When you do that, you can create a community that's open and welcoming to everyone, regardless of their personality type. This way, introverts can thrive and bring their unique contributions to the table. So, are you an introvert too that secretly loves one of these things? If you resonate with anything we've discussed, please share your thoughts with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Additionally, if you think someone else might benefit from this discussion, please feel free to like and share this video with them. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon. We wanted to let you know that each and every one of your comments, likes, and shares help support this channel and our goal to spread awareness about psychology and mental health. You help us make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone. So thank you so much for your support. Before we begin, we would also like to remind you that this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be used as a diagnosis. So please do not self-diagnose. If you suspect you or someone else might have OCD, we advise you to seek professional help. With that said, let's continue. Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder, or OCD, is a mental illness that is exhibited by repetitive, unwanted, or intrusive thoughts, the obsessions, often followed by an urge to do something repeatedly, the compulsions. It is a very serious mental illness that causes a great deal of suffering to those who have it. But did you know that there can be many different ways in which OCD manifests itself? To help you get a better understanding of OCD, here are 4 different types of OCD and how they manifest. Number 1, intrusive thoughts and ruminations. When someone with OCD suffers from intrusive thoughts, it's not the occasional disturbing thought now and then. It can be normal for people to have an intrusive thought as they go about their day. They may think of something worrisome or unpleasant and brush the thought aside. With OCD, it's a different story. When someone with OCD has intrusive thoughts, they're repetitive and often constant. They can obsess on the thought for minutes or even hours. These thoughts can range in topic and be anything, but some common ones are violent intrusive thoughts, which involve a fear of harming yourself or a loved one, sexual intrusive thoughts, which can involve unwanted thoughts of causing sexual harm to someone or obsessively questioning one's sexuality. And others can involve obsessions on religion and the fear of committing sin, analyzing one's relationship excessively, and magical thinking intrusive thoughts, in which one fears that simply thinking a bad thought can make it more likely to happen. These thoughts are often followed by rituals or compulsions in order to make the bad thing not happen, or to simply assure oneself that they don't feel a certain way about a negative thought. Ruminations in OCD are when one dwells upon a question or theme that is unproductive and likely to lead nowhere, dwelled upon for an excessive amount of time, more than your average philosopher. These are often different from intrusive thoughts as they can be indulged in rather than resisted. Someone with OCD may excessively ruminate about life after death, visualizing every scenario to the detail, leaving them detached and preoccupied from what is going on around them as they're attending to the thoughts in their mind. Number 2, checking. OCD can present itself in the need to check on something. This acts as the compulsion. Checking is often enacted out of a fear something bad will happen, such as a fire, a burglary, or harm to loved ones. This can display itself in a variety of ways. Someone may check in with their family members to gain reassurance about their fears, or maybe they feel an unrelenting need to check the door repeatedly to make sure it's locked out of fear of a burglary. Someone with OCD may even try to recall past memories to make sure they felt a certain way or didn't cause someone harm. For example, someone with OCD may be obsessing on their thoughts questioning their sexuality when they know outside of the obsessing what their sexual preference is. The individual may check or pay attention to their body for arousal, but because they're focused on not wanting this response, the body may automatically generate feelings of arousal. As research has shown, our bodies often react to what is sexually relevant and not always what we desire and value. Or another example, someone with OCD may check an email they've written over and over, analyzing for any imperfections in fear they may have written something wrong or will offend someone. Could you imagine writing an email to your boss only to check it for minutes on end, all due to a fear you may have written something that could come across as inappropriate and therefore lose your job as a result? We all generally need our jobs. So while this fear may seem to derive from an irrational place, those checking their email for the 100th time are often afraid of losing something important to them. This is a common fear for those suffering from OCD, in the sense that they love or value something so much they will strongly feel the need to act out these compulsions to protect what they love. And since what you love and value can often change in your life, OCD will grab a hold of what it is you're enjoying and valuing and try to manipulate it inside of your mind according to your fears. This is one of the many dark features of OCD. Number 3, contamination or mental contamination. Among those with OCD, there are generally 2 types of contamination obsessions. One is simply labeled as contamination. Contamination is often characterized by the strong fear of being dirty or contracting germs from objects or people. Someone may not like to shake hands as they have an obsession with contracting a virus from someone else, Or someone may be excessively brushing their teeth or scrubbing their hands for minutes on end out of fear of not feeling clean enough or feeling just right. A lot of physical damage can occur due to these compulsions. Mental contamination is an area of OCD researchers are just recently starting to get an understanding of. It can be evoked when someone feels as if they've been treated badly, or if someone says an abusive remark to them. The person will engage in compulsions to wash away this bad feeling, such as showering or acting out other compulsions. And number 4, symmetry and orderliness. This type of OCD manifests in different ways, such as organizing one's books or DVDs, making sure everything is neat, or clothes folded perfectly and hanging the same way. While a lot of us may simply like symmetry, but those with OCD focused on symmetry and order are obsessed about it and do not gain any enjoyment out of organizing to ensure it feels just right. Remember, what may look organized and clean to someone who doesn't have OCD may feel wrong to someone with OCD because it's about the feeling. Logically, they know their books are neatly stacked and their closet is fairly organized, but they can't shake the strong feeling that it isn't just right. This feeling may even pester them throughout the entire day, which is why they so strongly feel the need to act out the compulsion. With OCD, the compulsion often only provides relief for, often literally, a second. The thoughts and obsessions play on a loop, leaving a repetitive cycle, and compulsions are an urge to simply be free of fear and, if for only just a second, to feel right. Fortunately, there is good news and hope in some of this. There are therapists who do understand and specialize in treating OCD. Some of those affected by OCD have seen productive results through cognitive behavioral therapy from a therapist who does understand the condition. If you suspect you or someone else may have OCD, we highly recommend you seek professional help. So, do you now understand OCD a little bit more? Thanks for watching and learning more about mental illness and psychology. Did you learn something new about OCD? Are you or someone you know diagnosed with OCD? Feel free to share with us in the comments and engage with others who may suffer from the same type as you. It can help to understand your mental illness more and make you feel less alone in the process. Because you're not alone, no matter what you're going through. A bit of support could be the first step into feeling just a little bit better. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and share it with someone who might need it.